to my January setup. I hope everyone had a happy new year. This month, I was inspired by the Northern Lights. Here is a painting I made following a painting tutorial from Wow Art on YouTube. I will link the video down below if you want to check it out. I decided to take the blues, purple, and magenta from the sky and incorporate them throughout the rest of the setup. I used the Hemi gouache set to paint my setup. This is actually the first time I have painted directly into my bullet journal, and since this journal has thick paper, it's 160 GSM, I thought it was the perfect time to try. The colors I used were lake blue, ultramarine, violet, rose, and white. I wanted to go for an ombre effect for my calendar setup, and so I put these two pieces of scrap paper behind the pages that I'm painting on, and I also used washi tape to border around where I'm going to put my calendar and also a little note section. So I'm just working my way from blue to violet to rose to white, and then just blending it all together until I get that gradient look that I'm looking for. So I didn't like how light the blue on top was, so I decided to darken it up a bit with some ultramarine blue. After letting the paint dry, now I could pull off the washi tape. And I don't know about you, but I find pulling off the washi tape to be one of the most satisfying parts about a painting. If you think so too, let me know down below. Now I'm adding in my calendar. I went with a minimal setup. Each day is a 5x5 grid space. And something that I didn't notice until I was reviewing my video, but I actually forgot to add in the days of the week at the top, where I'm putting this black line right here. And also, I forgot to add in January, but I added it in later in the video to the top of the right page. So yeah, that's my calendar setup, and I'm actually pretty happy with how the paint ended up looking. Now I'm working on my habit tracker page. I'm using the same paint colors, but I had painted them onto a separate sketchbook, and now I'm just cutting out a piece to use as the header. Then I'm going in with my white uni Posca marker and adding in some little decorations to the header also. So some of the things I wanted to keep track of was doing yoga, exercise, reading, and 10,000 steps every day. Since I thought it looked a little plain, I'm adding in some drop shadow. Now, I don't know if you can notice, but in the middle of the pages, some of the paint leaked through. I think I went a little too heavy with the paint on the calendar spread. So I'm just using some washi tape to cover it up. It actually blends in really nice with the colors that I used. This is one of the reasons why I like having washi tape on hand, is just to help cover up any mistakes that I make. And so now I am working on my mood tracker. I actually haven't used one before, but I thought it'd be interesting to try for the new year. And plus at the end of the month, I can see all the pretty colors at the end. Now I'll be working on my first weekly setup. I'm just adding in a small calendar to the left-hand corner, just so I can see which week I'm on more easily. So something I wanted to add in for the month was a small section where I could write down what I'm currently reading and which audiobook I'm currently listening to. I wanted to add some more color to the page, so I went back to my paints, but I wasn't happy with how it turned out, so I ended up repainting in my sketchbook and then just cutting that part out and covering it up. Now, I didn't fully let the paint dry, and so you'll see here on the right page that some of the paint came up. I tried covering up some of it with my white Posca marker, but I ended up covering it up with some whiteout later on. Now I'm just dividing up my days of the week, and I used a purple marker to make a circle where I'm going to put the dates in. So when writing down the days of the week, I actually started wrong. I went with Sunday instead of Friday, so I'm just covering it up with a black marker, and I'll write in the days of the week with my white Posca marker. Now I'm skipping a couple pages to leave room for the rest of my weeklies, and I am setting up my highlights page. I always like to save this at the end of the month and just put in some pictures and describe some highlights of the month that I could look back upon. So that wraps up my January setup. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. I will also link my first video if you want to see how I set up my bullet journal for the new year. I will also link the supplies that I use down below if you want to check those out. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Bye!